Welcome to Brand of the Dead, where we bring brands to life. I'm Rob, and this video is the second part to generating your brand mission. Initially I did say mission and vision, but that will be a secondary series. So this is basically going to be looking at how to create a mission for your brand, and then we'll move on to establishing a vision after that. So this is part two. If you didn't catch the first part where we asked why you're starting your brand, go back and watch that video. There's a really cool exercise that you can do. And if you want more content like this, where you get practical tips and advice on how to create your own brand from scratch, then like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. So with that, let's get into the second part of this video. In this second part of the video, we're looking to establish your brand values, and the brand values sit at the very core of the brand. So with everything that you do throughout the brand, whether it's a social media post or on your website, in a graphic, in your logo, your brand values should shine through through each of one of these things to give your brand an overall feeling, which is what we want to achieve. Like I mentioned in a past video, a brand is a person's gut feeling about your product, service or company. So by establishing some values, you can really make them shine through, keep them consistent throughout all of the branding points, so that your customers can start to feel you as a brand. If your brand was a person, what values would that person have? People relate to each other very well, person to person. So this is what we want to try and achieve with the brand, is we want to find people that share the same values that will champion the brand going forward into the future. So that is why we're establishing some values. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of building brand values. Okay, so now we get into the practical side of the video. Like I did in the last one, I'm going to switch across to my drawing board, and then we can start the process of figuring out the values for our brand. So obviously mine will be applied to Brand of the Dead, yours should be applied to your own, and hopefully just going through this exercise will hopefully give you some ideas on what kind of values you might want for your brand. So let's get straight into it. At the top I'm going to write values, and one of the first things that I want to write down, one of the biggest values that I think Brand of the Dead has, is education. We value education. We're going to be teaching people how to create their own brand, so this is a really important part of Brand of the Dead. The second value is accessibility, and this for me is a really important one, because not only do I want the content to be free, or most of the content at least, I also want it to be accessible to everyone that wants to build their own brand. So it's not going to be too complicated. It's going to be simple, step by step. It's going to be accessible to anyone. It's not rocket science, it's just following a process. So accessibility, we're talking about free content. So anyone that wants to watch, as long as they've got an internet connection, should be able to watch the content for free. In the future there might be premium courses and things like that. I'm not ruling that out, but with the free content you should be able to follow along and create your own brand effectively. And then with accessibility we also have simple and step by step. So one of the other values is fun. So as I said, Brand of the Dead, it's a little bit different to some of the other branding agencies or channels. It's a little bit fun, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. So I want it to be entertaining as well as educational. So fun and entertaining. I'm quite new to this YouTube stuff, so I will get better as I go along, hopefully, and we'll figure out ways of adding this fun and entertainment. It might be through different exercises. It might just be through me. Who knows? I might miraculously become funny. So education, accessibility, fun. We want it to be straightforward. I mean, we've already put simple step by step. I'll add straightforward there. Straightforward. I want to be honest and transparent. I'm not going to say each piece of content is always going to be free. I don't know. I'll be honest about that. Is at some point in the future, I could potentially write a book that I charge for. There might be free ones as well. We don't know. So I want to be honest and transparent. So that is another value that I want my brand to have. So one of the other values that I have is the people, because ultimately, or the audience, ultimately, by building a brand, everything is the audience. It's the people. So I want to make it people and audience centric. If someone gets in touch or suggests a video or they need help in some sort of way, I want to be able to either help them directly or create a piece of content that will help them and a number of other people. So this was probably at the heart of everything that's on here, is the people. I want it to be personal. So education, accessibility, fun and entertaining, honest and transparent, and personal. It's all about the audience, and this is how we build brands. We build brands. Without the audience, there is no brand. So you always have to put the audience at the heart of the brand. So this should probably come right at the top as a value. We value people. So another value is great design. So I'm a designer. Design is sort of a big part of the branding process, and it's the language of branding. There are other elements too, like tone of voice and things like that, but that's you do design those elements of the brand as well. So great design is another value. One of the other values that I have is difference. Building a brand, you want to establish some difference, and what I mean by difference, I want to offer an alternative to what's already out there. So if people aren't liking some of the other content that's out there, or it doesn't gel with them for whatever reason, then I want to offer something different, something alternative to what's already out there, and hopefully they might find value in it. So difference. So let's run down the list quickly. We've got education, we've got accessibility. I want to provide free content and simple step-by-step. Practical is another one. So before we run down the list again, practicality. Put it into practice. Practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. So practice what you preach is going to be big for this channel, because everything that I say or any advice that I give, you will see me applying it directly to Brand of the Dead. So practicality and being able to apply what you learn is going to be huge in this. So that is the brand values. So let's run down the list quickly. It's education, accessibility, so I want free content that people can follow step by step and that is straightforward and easy to use. I want it to be fun and entertaining because you don't want to be on a channel that is boring. I've done video courses before where the person giving the course is very monotone. I'm not saying I'm the most exciting person in the world, but I want to try obviously and improve with these videos. And in some of those other courses that I've done personally, where the person drones on and it's very monotone all the way through and they just talk like this, I fall asleep. And actually I've fallen asleep before watching a course. I want to be honest and transparent, and as I mentioned, the people and the audience is going to be at the heart of any brand, because without the audience there is no brand. Great design, it's going to be really important for Brand of the Dead, to establish the brand and make it look trustworthy, but we're going to be teaching this stuff as well, so great design is a must. Difference, again, Brand of the Dead, it's a little bit different to what's already out there in terms of the name and what I want the brand to be. It's not going to be your typical slick branding agency. It's going to offer you an alternative to what's already out there, and hopefully Brand of the Dead will stand out because of it, and that's one thing that we want to build into all of our brands, is a point of difference. What makes you different? But we'll go into that more detail in a future video. And lastly, practicality. So practice what you preach. Like I said, in this video, in these videos, you'll see me practicing the advice that I give out. I'm not going to give you advice that I don't use myself, so practicality is a big one. So there you have it. That is the list of values. So we've got our list of values for Brand of the Dead. Now it's your turn to create your list for your brand. So what values does your brand hold, or what values do you hold that you want to put into your brand? Like I said, we've been through some of the ones for Brand of the Dead: honest, great design, audience centric, education, accessibility, these kind of things that I really value and I want to integrate into Brand of the Dead as a brand itself. So your action point is to go and figure out what your values are. You know, what do you value? What it could be anything. It could be you value love, honesty, whatever it is. Make a list of your values or your brand values. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you get a notification every time I post a video, and obviously the next one where we'll be going into the brand vision, and let's bring our brands to life. Thanks for watching.